Okay. So, good morning. Good morning. Just kind of write in the chat box if you enjoyed our little sunshiny day moment as I work to unmute some of our ELC friends that will be speaking today. Hang on, let me look for everybody. We have a lot of folks on today. So we have over 300 that signed up. So let's see. If you want, for those of us, you guys should be familiar now with GoToWebinar. If you want to follow along with the agenda, you can download it in the attendees box. And I'm sorry, you can download it in the handouts. Yes. Howard, I'm gonna unmute you now. I'm getting to the H's. Howard, you're unmuted. Hubert, you're self-muted. Amy, you're self-muted. Let's see. I'm going through the names. It really, I'm sorry, guys. It just, I had the thought, I'm like, can we do this meeting outside? It's just, it is a gorgeous day.
I'm going to be stuck with that stupid Brady Bunch song. I think I'll go for a walk outside now all day.
You love it. It was fun.
500 years ago when I was a kid.
But it's true. It is a gorgeous day. If you had your choice, you'd be outside playing tennis today. Well,
that's absolutely true. Instead,
instead, we're here, but that's okay.
we're with our friends.
All right. Well, I think it's 10:05. We'll get started. Welcome, welcome everybody again. I talked to Hubert a few minutes ago and I said to him that today feels like a real old-fashioned plan meeting. We have some stuff to go over. We have a presentation from someone in the community, so it just has that feel to it to me. So I will get started because I am first on the agenda and then you don't have to listen to me for a while. So I just wanted to remind everybody that we've shared the Quality Performance System, QPS. Remember, that's a new monthly requirement where you will have to update your classrooms. We just created a tutorial video that will hopefully be posted later today. We'll send out the link to you. So if you have any questions, need assistance with that, you can watch our fabulous tutorial and it will help you figure out how to enter in your staff, your classrooms, and things like that. Remember, this is only for SR providers. Next, class assessments. As you know, we're still on hold with them. We are going to keep you posted on, our planning, but at the moment, we are still currently on hold with that. And then just another shout out for our training calendar. We know that most of you guys are open and up and running, so we've shifted a little bit and a lot of our trainings are now at night. So please check out our training calendar on our new fabulous updated website that we just launched last week, or I think 2 weeks ago now. So check that out. And just to remind everybody that's going to be joining us for tonight's Take a Break session, that is not an in-service session. That is just get together, take a break. I'm going to be sharing some fun stuff with primarily families, but you're welcome to join just to learn how to take some time out for yourself. So join us, but just know that's not for in-service. And with that, I am going to welcome Darren, I'm gonna try to unmute him. I'm looking for the Ds because I have 100+ people here. And Darren Jacoby is from Prepare Care, and
Hi,
he's gonna
Allison.
share a little information with you guys. Hi, Darren, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Hope everyone's doing well. I know a lot of people are muted, but really excited to be here with the ELC meeting in Broward. I'd like to tell a bit about Prepare Care and then the solution we currently have some schools in Broward using, and then generally talk about what we're trying to do. So I know, Allison, you have a video that I shared through that you wanted to share on your screen. But in the meantime, I can introduce myself. I'm Darren Jacoby. I grew up here in Hollywood, in South Florida. My dad has been in the preschool, early childhood education world for many years now. And I've kind of always been an onlooker, learning about the amazing work you guys do, and trying to support their work where I could. My background is in engineering and software work. And after a couple of years of watching the preschool and early education world, wanted to figure out if we could build something that would help schools operate and keep on track of the million things they have to do. And so we started Prepare Care earlier this year. Obviously, a fun time to start a new project with all the things that have happened. But I think hopefully what we're working on will be more helpful than ever. And so what we're working on in general is really building software solutions for schools just like yours to help directors and really manage kind of the back end of the school and all the operations more easily. And we have a focus on compliance. We're working on a software that you'll be hearing about hopefully in the new year. We're excited to come back and present more deeply on that. But it's going to be a really exciting tool. We hope there's actually going to be I'll give you guys a surprise, but there's going to be a free for life version of it. So not something that schools will need to actually pay for to use in some capacity and hopefully get some real value for. And so that's coming in the new year. What we worked on in the meantime, however, while we're working with some of the schools that are testing our product, is our digital enrollment forms. And that's what we're here to talk about today. And so maybe, Allison, if you want to show that video, and then I can add some context after that. But the video is probably the best way to see how it works and why schools have been asking for it. It basically, to sum it up, turns your current paper enrollment packet exactly as it is, as it looks, on the paper, into a digital form that your parents of students can fill out on the go. And it actually, it's really easy for them. They can do it mobile. They can do it from the car if they're still not coming in, as they, during the COVID pandemic. And it essentially puts a finished PDF with all their information right in your inbox. No more need to chase around parents with the packet, things like that. So I think, Allison, when you're ready to show the video, that'll kind of describe it end to end.
You're ready.
Okay, let's go for
All
it.
right, everybody, let's see.
Sorry. Yeah, so there's a little bit of I don't know, there's a bar going across the screen there, but yeah, that's the solution. And it just, the way we work with schools is We obviously have the state documents available and those are ready to go. But then in terms of your particular school's onboarding forms, all the policies you need signed, that we can set up for you in a matter of days. And, you can post that on your website. So, instead of parents, a lot of people have forms that they need parents to print out and eventually bring in. And I don't think a lot of them end up doing it. As people are looking at a January kind of enrollment rush, or opening up for further enrollment now, they can actually fill out the forms that you'll need to, store for licensing, and you can print off a paper copy if you want it, or you can leave it in your email there. So that's the gist of it. If you wanted to, I see there's a link on there. You can go to our website, prepare.care, right there, and there's a digital enrollment form section. It's got all the information you need. You can, put in your email address, and someone from our team will reach out to share more information and get you set up if it's something that's interested. You can just learn more on a quick phone call from there and select the time. And as well, if you go on our general website, prepare.care, we are working on really the first solution that's going to be bottom up built with compliance in mind, with the actual state regulations in there. And so if you want to stay on track with our project, prepare.care, you can put in your email address and the county you're in, and we'll send you an email when something's available, just to stay in the loop. But yeah, I think that's it. So any questions, Allison, anything I can clarify, or any questions from the crowd?
I'm not seeing any questions, but I did have two folks that I guess are piloting it, and they said they recommend it. That does not come from me. I promise everybody I cannot endorse or whatever. I am neutral. I'm just here to share the information, but your colleagues out there that are piloting did say that they highly recommend it. And that's it. And I will also put the link in the chat box for everybody to access. And I guess that's it for now.
Beautiful. Well, thanks everyone. Yeah, prepare.care. You can put your email there to stay in the loop in general. You can find a way to contact us on the website. Any questions you have, anything you want to share with us on how we can make your life easier with respect to compliance and management of that sort. We're always looking to talk to schools and just learn more about the work you do and how we can support it. So really appreciate the time. Have a great day on this sunny day. I'm gonna have that song stuck in my head all day. I'm excited about that. But yeah, thanks so much, Allison. Thanks so much to ELC Broward.
Thank you, Darren. And I just got a message from Kara, and Kara says you could tell them that she says so. So, and she doesn't get any money, so she just wants to endorse it herself. So thank you so much, Darren. And now I am going to turn it over to Amy Unger, who is my friend in our fandom of General Hospital, and Brady Bunch now, apparently, we just learned. So Amy, I turn it over to you. You should be self-muted. See, waiting. Maybe not. Amy? Amy Unger. Okay, I guess she does have a little triangle on her name, so maybe she's having some issues. So let's give our attention, drum roll, because I'm going to be turning it over to Hubert. Hubert, you should be self-muted, and then I'm going to make you a presenter now. Hubert, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, give me a second, and I am going to turn you into the presenter so you can share your screen. Okay, it's all you, Hubert.
All right, can you see my screen, Allison?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Hubert Caesar. I'm the Chief Information Officer for the Early Learning Coalition. I'm super excited to present to you some a new, well, I don't want to say new feature, a new and old feature that you all are aware of, right? I'm sorry, I'm getting these messages coming up here. Okay, perfect. Can you hear me, everybody?
Yes, we can hear
Okay,
you. I can hear
perfect.
you.
Okay, so here is our beautiful website that Allison was referring to, and I'm on this page because I know that some of you may not know that we moved the legacy link. And when I say legacy link, legacy portal, I'm talking about the BlueJean portal that most of you are aware of. So if you are looking for it and you are on our website, you can click on the providers and it says legacy provider portal. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So I'm going to show you how you will be able to see your redeterminations that are upcoming. Because I know that's something that you all have brought up before in the past regarding the difficulty of how difficult it is for you all to see that information on the current portal. And what I'm going to show you right now is a workaround. I am working in the background with OEL. And thank you to Kara and the providers who participated in a quick call that we had regarding this. So I'm working with OEL behind the scene to make sure that this information is available in the current portal. But for right now, you will be able to see it on the BlueJean portal. So I'll get started now. So if you want, you can definitely click on that link here. And once you click on this link, it's going to take you to this page. And this is the BlueJean portal that many of you are used to. If you are unsure that you have access to this page, you can reach out to your provider relations person, and then that person will let you know your login and how to access this page. Okay. Now, once you are on this page, you would log in, and Kara, I think I have your permission to use your site to kind of show people what this looks like. So once you are logged into the page, you will get this page here. And right now I'm looking at Kara's school, so which is Michelle's International. So this is what your page should look like when you first log into the BlueJean portal. So the first thing that you have to be, you'll see is that you can see your next actions, okay? So the first option is redetermination dates for students, for the students that are upcoming, right? So what this is it's a link for you to get to anything that's coming up for the next month or soon, okay? So I'm not going to click on this link because I don't want to show children information, but I will show you a screenshot of what this page look like. Okay, so once you're logged in, use your credentials, username and password, and it'll take you to this page. On this page, you would click this link here. Again, and then once you click the link, you will now get this page. Again, I'm not showing the children information here, so but you will see all of the children that are upcoming, that have an upcoming redetermination. And on here, Kara has a few, so the kids are here, and you'll see their name, date of birth, and then the date of their RED and the funding group that, again, I'm sure probably doesn't really mean a lot to you all, but except BG1 that you have to report. But again, when you are using the portal, the legacy portal, I'll show you again how to get there in case I was going too fast. So you can bookmark this page, right? When you click here, right, it's going to take you to the login page, right? You'll use your email address and your password. If you don't know this, again, you can reach out to your provider relations person, and you'll be able to know who that person is. Again, I'll show you something extra. So on our website, we're asked this question. If you are looking for your provider relations and you don't know, you can click under contact and ELC staff, and then you'll be able to see a list of who you can reach out from the ELC, okay? But again, once you log in here, you'll get to this page. And from this page, you should be able to click redetermination date. And from here, you get this page here. All right, you'll get this page, okay? So with that information, you'll be able to see who's upcoming. And again, I'm working with OEL in the background to make this more efficient. That way it's on the current portal a lot better, because I know some of you have heard Keisha and myself explain that you can see that on the portal, on the OEL portal, but it's not as efficient as the way we just show you now. So I hope this was helpful for you all. I'm not sure if there are any questions. Allison, if there are any, please let me know, and I'll try to address them right now.
We have a question, but I think that it'll be best if we deal with this person. It's just they're having problem when they log in, they don't see anything. So we'll have to get with that person and make sure that they are
Yes.
seeing it correctly.
Yes, we'll do that. Sure.
So no worries, Jen, I'll follow up with you after and get you connected to the correct person.
Just to make sure everyone understands, just because this has been such a hot topic and such an important piece for childcare businesses to be able to see who's coming up for redetermination, so you can make sure that the families are filling out their paperwork so that folks don't end up terminating out of school readiness funds because they haven't uploaded their documents and stuff. We know that you guys are the first and best, in many instances, ways to make sure that families are doing this stuff. You know, the portal isn't always the most friendly or the warmest to remind folks to do this, but you guys are. So this is a one-click remedy to knowing who's coming up for redetermination.
If there are no more questions, thank you everybody for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the one-click button that Howard just mentioned, and you all have a great rest of your day. Allison?
Okay, thank you. Now let's see, I think, let me figure out how I get back the control. We did have a question. I'm not sure specifically. Hubert, okay, great. I think you're sending it back over to me, correct, Hubert? Yes, here it is. I got it now. I see how to figure this out. We did get a question. Is the redetermination still current on the old portal?
Yes, it is. This is a new update that we've done to make sure that is current. I can tell you that it is. We update the portal every night because it's not as direct as.
Oh, we just lost Hubert for some reason. So hopefully he will be able to join back up with us. And as we continue, okay. All right, so we will pick that back up when Hubert joins us. So now we do have Amy Younger. She should be unmuted. Amy, are you there?
I was considering being really quiet for like 20 seconds and just try to fake you out, but no, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, don't do that to me.
And yes, I love your throwback to the 70s. I too am a Brady child, so thank you for that walk down memory lane. So hi, everybody. Just a few updates from the provider relations side of the house. We had a little tropical storm last week, didn't we? So the hot topic has been, how do I put this on my attendance? Everybody probably received some information from the Office of Early Learning, because they've added a new feature where you can now go in and report your emergency closures right on the provider portal. You're going to be getting a document in your email today from the ELC and from your provider relations specialist with very detailed instructions, including screenshots that show you how to report an emergency closure for your entire program, as well as how to report if there's an emergency closure in just one classroom. That's been coming up, obviously, if you have a child that was exposed to COVID and you have to shut down one room, but the entire program doesn't close. So all those different scenarios are spelled out. It tells you how to report for if it's school readiness, as well as if it's for VPK. Bless you. Remember that there are some differences in what is reimbursable between school readiness and VPK. For school readiness, when we have a weather emergency like the tropical storm, you are eligible to receive reimbursement for your school readiness kids on that day because there was a state of emergency declared. For VPK, it's a little bit different. You have a total of 5 days that you can be reimbursed for the entire program year for each classroom. So basically what that means is if you happened to have used your 5 days because you had to close a classroom due to COVID, then you may no longer have those days available if there is a weather emergency. That just means that you're going to need to revise your calendar and make those days up so that you still end up with 540 hours. So again, that document's going to be coming. It's really detailed. I debated how much to show you here, but it was a whole 1-hour webinar that they did. We certainly didn't have time to do that today. But if you have questions as you read through it, please feel free to reach out to your provider relations specialist and we can talk you through any specifics. Any questions about that?
Yeah, so we just have one question. So was Tropical Storm Ada considered an emergency closing since schools were closed? And if so, do we need to report that?
Absolutely. That was a declared state of emergency day. So if you did close that day, then you would want to go in. You start by clicking on your attendance, just as if you're going to go submit your attendance, and then you're going to see an option that says emergency closures. In the past, what we would have had to have done is reach out to everybody and say, hey, did you stay open or did you close? That's why this is such a great improvement, because now we don't need to find out. You just let us know if you were closed. So if you remained open, regardless of the tropical storm, because it really wasn't that bad of a day, that's fine. There's nothing that you need to do. But if you did close because of the state of emergency and the fact that the schools were closed, then you just go in and report that in the portal, and we have to review that and make sure that it meets the qualifications. So make sure that you do that as soon as possible, because it needs to be done so that it shows up on your attendance before you process or submit your attendance. Anything
Okay.
else before we move on?
Yes, if we are closed for storm, but then made another non-VPK day in that week of VPK day, how do we handle that?
So you're going to make some changes to your calendar that reflect that, because yes, even if you closed for the tropical storm, you do not have to take that as a reimbursement day. If you want to make it up, you can. That is covered in the instructions that we're going to send you today, how you would reflect that on your calendar, because we just want to have a correct vision of what days you were open and what days you were closed, but it'll still show that you offered the entire 540 hours. So look for that communication coming later today.
And one other question, is there some kind of proof that we need to show that it was a hurricane? What kind of items are proof for a hurricane?
When it is a tropical storm hurricane day, no additional documentation is needed. There is a place when you're reporting your emergency closure where you can upload documents, but it's optional. If you don't upload something, it's not going to stop you. Typically, the only time that we really need to see documentation is if it's a closure that only affects your center. So I remember a time a year ago where there was water pipe issues in certain parts of the county and certain providers closed down. So for something like that, we would need to see some kind of documentation of what happened. If your power went out in your building, but it wasn't an issue for the entire county, we would need documentation. But anytime there's a tropical storm or a hurricane, we're aware of the school board closures, so we're not really going to question that. We're not looking for any documentation there. Anything
Great.
else?
No, I think you are off the hook.
Okay, so moving on to provider monitoring. This is the time of the year when typically your provider relations team would be getting out and enjoying the sunshine and going out into the field. COVID has changed our plans, so we're not going to be coming into your centers right now. But we do need to get a jump on the monitoring process. So every year, a portion of providers are selected for monitoring. It's not 100%. So if you, excuse me, working at home with a child. So if you are selected for an on-site monitoring, you're going to be getting a notice from us within the next couple of days. Sorry, guys. If you get that notice, it's going to tell you what documentation you need to send back to us within a certain time period. And the on-site portion where we actually need to come and see your teachers and see the school readiness or VPK kids will be handled later in the year. Another thing I wanted to mention is that the VPK Flex providers do need to be monitored as well. So we're going to be coming out, we're going to be reaching out to you. We're going to be reaching out to you and asking for the login information so that we can join your online class as well. Any questions about monitoring?
Do we also get a call or only a notice in the mail?
We're going to be reaching out by email, and if we don't get a response within the requested time frame, then we will reach out by phone. But the email is going to have specific information about what documents we need, when they're due back, and how to submit them to us. So, you know, the written information is the most important. But if we have concerns that it has not been received, then we'll certainly follow up with a phone call.
Sounds good. We've received an email requiring a specific VPK certificate. Is that part of the audit?
Great question. So actually, we at the ELC get audited just like you get audited. And we are currently in the process of being audited by OEL, by the Office of Early Learning. And as part of that audit, they request some documents that you guys have, which is why you've been contacted. Interesting. We only had, I think, 16 that we requested. I guess some of those 16 providers are with us today. One other thing I did want to mention about the monitoring of the VPK Flex providers, and we will put this in the email that we send, it is definitely advisable for you to let your families and your teachers know if you've been selected for monitoring of your VPK Flex program. Because there have been reports of other ELCs where a strange person from the ELC logged on to the Flex program and parents started logging off. So you want to make sure that your parents know that it's okay. This is somebody from our funder, and they're just there to observe the VPK teacher. Any other questions about monitoring?
Let me check. I think. Can you just repeat that because someone said they couldn't hear well? I'm sorry.
I can't imagine why. I mean, okay, in the moment of quiet. So what we're going to be doing is reaching out to you with an email if you have been selected for monitoring. So not everybody's going to get this email, just the percentage of providers that we're required to monitor. The email is going to tell you these are the documents that we need. So if you've ever been monitored in person by us before, you know, a lot of us is just saying, I need this document, these sign-in sheets, this certificate. So we'll give you a list of exactly what we need, and we're going to tell you when. You'll have a few days to submit that to us and where to upload that information. So instead of handing it to us in person, you're just going to submit it back to us electronically so we can start the auditing process from afar. And then at some point when it's a little safer to go back out into the community, we will be coming to finish the auditing process where we actually need to see your VPK teachers, your VPK students, the school readiness students, a couple of things like we need to view your curriculum. So we'll finish up those things that have to be done on site later in the year. But within the next several weeks, if you're selected for monitoring, you will be requested to submit the document portion.
Great, thank you. And then we have 2 or 3 questions coming in. Do we know if VPK Flex is going to continue past December?
We have received no such information at this point. Everything that was created regarding VPK Flex said it was intended to only be through December 31st. You never know, things change, but we've been given no indication at this point that that's going to change. If we hear anything, we will let you know as soon as possible.
And then Amy,
For one quick sec, just to also bring everyone's attention, for everyone providing full-time care to school-age children, be looking out in the next, it may actually come this week, what the Department of Education's decision is going to be in terms of extending virtual learning, not just VPK, but virtual public school learning in general past December 31st. That should come out this week. So as long as virtual learning is an option for Broward students, it means that you can continue to provide that full-day, full-time care for school-age children. If it's no longer an option, then those children will have to go back to their public schools. Sorry to insert myself there, but it seemed like a good time.
No, good information to have. Thank you for sharing. Any other questions before I move on, Allison?
There's just one, how about the email requesting certificate? Is this part of the monitoring?
Right, no, that is part of the ELC being monitored by the Office of Early Learning. When they monitor us, they ask for some information that the providers are required to keep. So that has nothing to do with whether or not your site was selected for an on-site monitoring. That was simply because the ELC is being monitored by OEL.
And then one last question for the attendance. For emergency closures, how do we mark them in attendance? There's not an option other than usual excuses than the usual.
If the program was closed, you're not going to need to mark them as present or absent. It's going to put an asterisk on that date on your attendance sheet once your emergency closure has been approved. That's kind of the whole point, that you don't need to worry about how to mark the individual children, because you're letting us know that the program was closed altogether.
Great. Okay, that's it.
So, well, last but not least, let me just throw out another reminder about the developmental screenings, the ASQs. I've been told by a very reliable source that we had a big uptick last month in how many ASQs were submitted. That's great news. We had a bit of a lag when there was a waiver from the state that they didn't need to be completed for a while. But then when that waiver expired, we needed to make sure that everybody that was a new provider had the tool to do the kit. So last month we reached out, and everybody should now have the developmental screening tool, either a hard copy kit or access to a link where they can download it. If you don't have access to the ASQ kit, please reach out to your provider relations specialist and they can help you with that. Also, you need to have the access to the BlueJeans system that Hubert was referring to earlier. That's where you enter the scores from those ASQs. We are still working with the BlueJeans company on a few updates that are going to make it a little bit easier for you to let us know if you have children who have not returned due to COVID. So obviously you can't do their screenings. We're just working out some of those kinks. So be looking for some more communication on that. But just in general, make sure that when you have new children enrolled in your program, and we are enrolling from the wait list right now, so you might be getting some new families, new enrollments are required to have that screening in the first 45 days in your program. That's for first 45 days from enrollment, not necessarily attendance. So they may not show up on day one, but that clock started ticking the day that they were enrolled in your program. And then also every year they're supposed to have it by their birth date. So that is the information we have for you this week. If you have any other questions, let me know. Thanks, everybody. Sorry about the background noise.
Marshall is so cute. He never has to apologize. We should only get to see how cute his cuteness on camera. So supposedly Hubert is reporting that the organizer of this webinar kicked him out, but he is now back. So Hubert, are you back?
Yes, I am. So yes, the organizer did kick me out. I'm not sure what happened. So, but what I was saying earlier is that yes, the redetermination date is up to date in the BlueJeans software. So I just want to make sure I answer that question. That's all, Allison. You're forgiven.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll just, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing your smiling face. So all will be good. Okay, next up is OEL update to reimbursements and copays. That's a standard item on here. Christine, Sandra, anybody have an update?
This is Christine. Can you hear me?
You're a little muffled, but we can hear you.
Okay, my cat ate my headset, so I'm stuck with my laptop microphone, so I apologize. I'll try to speak loudly. And I'll also try to speak quickly before the organizer kicks me out. There's just a couple of updates. It's more sort of continue a lot of the same. We are as you've heard a lot about December 31st as an end date for a lot of things. And the reason for that is that the emergency order that supports all the waivers and changes that have happened during the pandemic expires at the end of December. And so we are, OEL is sort of working on what they're calling a dimmer switch approach. to preparing everybody to a return to normal in January, unless for some reason they decide to extend it at the last minute. So what that means is that for November and for December services, we will continue to have a waiver for co-pays for parents, and we will pay the entire amount. So you do not need to collect a co-pay from parents. And the dimmer switch part of it is the number of paid absences that will be allowed. As you recall, in October, it was 6. In November, it will be 4 additional paid absences for a total of 14. And in December, it will be an additional 2 paid absences for a total of 12. And none of those require additional documentation to support it. And then in January, it goes back to the normal 10, and documentation will be required. So I just want to prepare everybody for that we're now sort of moving back toward the normal SR rules, unless we hear otherwise from the executive and OEL. That's it. Sandra, did I get anything wrong? Is there anything else we need to add?
Everything is good, what you said. Nothing to add. Thanks.
Can I guest star in the role of Sandra for 1 sec? First of all, did anyone else picture Christine having to speak loudly into her cat? So that was just a picture. But as we talk about the governor's order expiring at the end of December, beginning of January, we still don't have word, and won't for a little while, as to what that means with the first responders. Could it continue? Yes. Will it? We don't know. But when it eventually ends, it will be phased out. What we have been told is folks' eligibility period, which is 3 months at a time, would phase out. It's not that everyone would end automatically at the stroke of midnight on December 31st. So just to let you know, for planning purposes, we don't have an end date, but when we can actually announce a date that the program is ending, it phases out like a dimmer switch instead of everyone just having to leave all at once.
Howard, you're still on. Oh, okay, you're good.
I was responding to Keisha about, yeah, I did the full-time payment with school age. Okay, so you want me to move right into CARES grant?
Sure.
Great. So good news, a little bit of a surprising news, but good news that CARES grant phase 4 is coming out now. So more good news. If you're open, you're eligible for this one. This wasn't like phase 3, where if you had been eligible for either phase 1 or phase 2, you could not apply for phase 3. Every childcare facility that is open for business now, either contracted or not contracted, public or private, is eligible for phase 4. The less than great news, but still it's okay, news is that phase 4, the dollar size isn't huge. The maximum amount you could get, because it's based on license capacity. So for those centers that are 150 or more license capacity would get $3,250, and it goes obviously down from there. So it's not a huge amount of money per center, but hey, it's still money. And if you're on this call, chances are excellent that you're eligible. It's a pretty simple form. What we're doing this time is using more technology in the form. So Hubert and team will take over big time on the technical assistance call on Monday at noon to walk you through the new technology system to fill out the form. We're hoping that using technology will decrease the amount of errors that we've seen in folks filling out forms before. Meaning if you missed filling out your budget, or if you missed answering a question, then the system won't allow you to submit until you've answered those things. So less back and forth, we hope, which would hopefully lead to more efficient payment. So there you have it. So more to come Monday.
Great, thank you. So again, we sent out the link for the webinar for Monday for the technical assistance. We're looking forward to that. You will get Hubert on that one. He is going to take the lead, like Howard said. It'll be really exciting. And
And we'll be using lots of screenshots and stuff, so we'll make it easy. And we'll have everything available on our site Monday also. We just didn't, well, A, it wasn't ready yet. B, we didn't want folks to fill out the wrong forms by putting things up too early. That's kind of happened in phase 3, so lessons learned.
right, and it will still, and just, there will be a timeline. Christine, do you want to talk about the timeline for payment for those? We're getting some questions on that.
Sorry, I didn't have myself unmuted. Let's wait until we do everything all on Monday and we'll finalize all of those details and inform you of that at that time.
Awesome, sounds good. And so finally, our next plan meeting, we're gonna change things up a little bit, and we will be meeting on the Wednesday, December 16th, which is still the third Wednesday of the month, but instead, let's have a little lunch, virtual lunch together, and we'll be meeting at 12 o'clock. So please make note of that. We'll be sending out the registration for that link. And I guess, you know, if we don't see you, well, we'll see you guys on Monday, but for me and everyone else at the ELC, if we don't see you on Monday, we wish you a happy Thanksgiving as we start the holiday season. And with that, I believe we are done. So have a great sunshine day, everybody, because it is a gorgeous day and there's nothing like some vitamin D. So this is why we live here in Florida, a day like today. So have a great day, everybody. Take care.
Enjoy your plaid bell bottoms, Allison.
I would love to wear bell bottoms.
Okay, on that visual. See ya.